Hello, everyone. This is Jack, your host extraordinaire for the ASM, what used to be Hangouts. Now we're going to call it, there we go, StreamYard. And this is new software. It's good to be back. It's been more than a year since we had our last broadcast, and it just suddenly ended. Just to tell you, not to get too deep into it, because everybody here is bored of hearing about my thyroid, but I had some issues. I had medical procedures done that had me isolated. I got to kick Matt out of the house for an entire week. But I'll tell you what, if you're used to having somebody around and then you're by yourself for a week and only your own thoughts to listen to, yeah, I can see why Jack Nicholson went crazy in The Shining. So anyway, this is a new venue, StreamYard. It's a free app, and if things progress the way I'd like to see them progress, we'll probably be able to get rid of that. That means that. And also, our formatting has changed a little bit too. It's the same old over at YouTube. I would go check. I can probably go check to see if we are broadcasting live, and I think we are, because the comment from Wayne came in. Thank you, Wayne. It's good to be back. The downside of this is that can only be 6 of us total instead of 10 on Google Plus. Google Plus live broadcast that we used to do is out of business August 1st, but you can still call your relatives and hang out as you would normally would, but why would you hang out with your relatives when you have friends like these? Anyway, speaking of friends like these, I'd like to introduce, so I'm going to my StreamYard left to right, and first I have Phil. How you doing, Phil?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you, Jack. Well, I say very well. I'm not going to go any further into that, but
you're looking
surviving.
rather chipper well yourself. I'm serious, because you are having some issues too. It's good to see that you're smiling and healthy. Relatively.
Reasonably.
Reasonably. Okay, that's a better way of saying it.
Panda's keeping me in order. Oh, in fact, hang on.
Hi, Randall.
Hi, guys.
Speak. Woof, woof. I guess that's a hi from him. How you doing there, Jim?
I'm doing fine there, Jack.
Yeah, I figured it out. You know, the other night I called you out of the blue, and I'm like, help!
Yeah, we had a black screen, we had audio and no video, and it was just.
Well, I just did a Google search and watched the YouTube videos, and this is where we're at. How you doing there, Lou?
Hi, kid.
Yeah, he got a new computer, and if he's coming through clear,
yeah,
well, that's his fault.
I'm just taking a few minutes to peruse my favorite publication.
Yeah, I know why.
Ooh, yeah.
I know exactly why.
yeah, I
himself.
know the feeling. Yeah, it feels
Pat
good.
myself on the back.
Good golly. You know, go ahead.
No, because nobody else will. I'll just pat myself on the back.
So we usually did the show and tells. Well, we're not going to go do that. Tom and Jerry, one of my heroes, two of my best heroes. It's a little changed, and the chat is open if you're watching live. And as you see, where it's very busy over there. George, I hope you're watching. I hope you got the message through Facebook that we're going to have this. I missed you, George, and listening or reading all your comments. I hope to see you soon. And we've been hanging out. The regular hangouts are going to, just hanging out. Group of us, and we just yak talk every Saturday. So this is going to occur every first Saturday of the month. So it's 12 a year. So that means it won't feel like a job to me. And besides, we probably have more to talk about. So this first one is sort of feeling our way around the software as well as the new arrangements. And we're out of practice, quite frankly. So a lot of things we've talked about in the past is, well, that thing I've got going on back there. In April, I got a 3D printer, and I think since April of 19, that's probably stopped. I stopped it for maybe a total of about 3 weeks, maybe 4. So that thing has been going constantly. And I'll share a little bit of that today too. But if you want to see more of what I'm doing and what these guys are doing, using MeWe.com, that social media site, as a base for ASM. Facebook is still around. It's being run by Randall, Liam, and Dirk. I haven't been there because part of my personal problem is Facebook, but all of us here understand what that is. So the base of our ASM and the broadcasts are actually over at me, we. Those are the pronouns. That's the pronouns I'm going to use today for myself. Me, we. It's been actually kind of fun over there. It's interesting. It echoes Google Plus, if you all remember Google Plus. No ads. It's arranged like Facebook as far as the way it kind of is laid out. But there's no ads. There's if you don't want to be a part of something, you can not be a part of it, and no invites come in that are unsolicited. You can.
And they have a chat
real fast. And the chat feature, you can do group chats, you can do individual chats, you can do all kinds of chats. The chat feature is actually kind of good too. So that's the base of our operations. This show would be over at MeWe. And if you're thinking I'm trying to entice you over, you're right. Okay, guys, leaving it up to the floor. It's up to you guys to come up with something.
Hey, we're back. All we saw was your smiling face there.
Well, go ahead.
No, all we saw was your smiling face. I'm used to seeing all of us arranged in some sort or another so that we can see what each other's up to.
Yeah, see, I'm still getting shot. I clicked on the wrong thing. There you go. Oh! There you go.
There you go.
Sorry. And then I got StreamYard as
still on the learning curve, huh?
Oh, sure. He's still just learning. Don't take it personal.
So what I wanted to do, I'm sorry.
I mentioned this before we went live, but it is a bit like the Brady Bunch. So you're like, hey Phil,
and Jack is Alice in the middle.
Hi Jack. Hi Randall.
Lou, you got a bald spot on top of your head there.
I beg to differ from you.
Hey, I'll trade Lou's bald spot for mine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit worried because there's two people that can look straight up my nose.
Okay, Wayne, you said how do you join in? It is invite that it only takes 6 people, so I can only send invite to some.
Well, get one more person in here so the columns are squared up again.
I see the columns are squared up again. Well, you see if I do this.
Oh, see, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You would end up in a green room, so somebody actually has to leave.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Get somebody else in here.
There is 6. Oh, there isn't 6. There's 5.
There's 5.
5. We got one slot.
That's one for each finger on one hand.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry, I've been measuring my.
Aren't you glad you reinstated the live chat? Where else can you get this abuse for free?
Heath has joined us. Hey, Heath.
Hi, Heath.
Hi, Heath.
Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Wayne, I'm going to figure things out here and leave it to the floor. Lou.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the magazine.
He's hiding.
Well, it was quite a surprise. I don't know. No one ever thinks to tell me these things are coming up in advance. But I got an email from Steve saying, hey, you want to get the latest Fine Modeler magazine. So I finally broke down and subscribed to the bloody thing. It's like I feel like the last couple of years I've been popping up more and more often. And I should really, for the price, just go ahead and subscribe. I won't have to worry about it. But no, one of the Aaron Skinner is the guy. He's one of the main honchos at Fine Scale Modeler, and he decided to hey, there's a whole other realm of model making out there besides military tanks and planes and jets. You can build sci-fi stuff. And so he took to building the Klingon cruiser with the lighting kit that Polar Lights makes with it, and Polar Lights, and decided to use my masks to help him paint. And he did a pretty good job with it. He said some nice things. It was a good day. There they are in blazing color.
Ooh. Oh, so that's a 350.
That's a 350 Katinga that he built, yeah. And he done good. So, any press is good, except for when they say bad things about you. And they didn't say anything bad, so hey, good on me. No, it was quite a nice surprise. It's not like I've had builds in there before from pictures that were taken at Wonderfest or whatnot, but that's the first time anybody's done anything critical with the product itself, rather than just showing a picture from a contest. So it was quite a nice write-up.
Okay, cool. So you said on your video, I'm just gonna do I'm just still learning this. Share screen. This is just a frozen.
Yeah, that's me working on the Enterprise C, which is what I'm doing at the very moment. Right, actually, at the very moment, you're catching me throwing away stuff because I'm going through piles of old CDs of photos and trying to get some sort of inventory of what's going on here. But throwing out old software boxes, you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking around at a pile of CDs and I'm trying to remember what's on them that I wanted to keep versus can I just throw the whole thing away. But let me show you, since I got my new fancy camera, the results of that is the top of the Enterprise C, top of the saucer. I'm not going to try to share a screen because that doesn't seem to be working for me today. And there's the bottom, which looks like just a big old bullseye.
Sorry.
That's okay. Big old bullseye bottom screen and top of Enterprise C.
But the bottom, like you said in your video, looks a bit like Captain America's shield.
Yeah, when I got to it, I felt like I needed to do that in Rings of Red and put a star in the center of it. That will be the big Trek Avengers crossover. But that's going well, and once I finally got the new situation going, I was able to actually get back into building and managed to knock that much painting out yesterday. So looking forward to maybe a weekend of rest. I don't know. I've been running nonstop all week.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and also going back to the screen share. You know what? Don't show me this again. I know all the necessities of having a good computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps if you use a good computer.
Yeah, let's go over to. Let's see. Oh, see, it's very different on my end here. Let's see. 3D printing nerd. Here, StreamYard has a YouTube channel, so there's tutorials here, and it was very, very helpful.
And if you want to get rid of the duck, you got to pay the bucks.
Yeah, I got to pay the duck to get rid of the duck. Yeah, exactly right. So let's go over here. You see, this is what it is. That's why they want you to do a good computer. Because I just wanted to go over here. Oh, there we go. This is what I wanted to.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Jamie Hood did again a StreamYard yesterday, and I took a look at it. And you know what? We're primarily sci-fi here, so let's I saw this, and I'm like, I'm not too into the 1999 thing, but I have to appreciate this kit. Watch the video. Go to Round 2 Models of Lynch's video if you haven't done so already. And also the potato peeler, glamorized and made bigger. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna I can do zucchinis now.
Yeah, I love it, but boy, did they have some problems with light leaks on that.
Yeah, you did have it turned on.
Yeah, look at light leaks in that.
Wow. I messed up, but yeah,
Looks like the saucers dipping.
my computer had a nervous breakdown, so I missed that bit.
Yeah.
And the one that floored Carwin altogether was
I can see why Carwin was happy with that.
He sold his scratch build to you, and now he can buy one and have one for his own, and probably accurate.
look at me. I bought an expensive scratch built one, and now they come out with a commercial kit.
Nice. You know what? I'm kind of jealous of not anymore. I would have gotten into a bidding war with you on that.
Yeah.
So.
No, the thing is that's my life. Hey, if you want a relatively inexpensive commercial copy of a model, let Lou buy the expensive scratch built version first. And that guarantees that some company will come out with a cheaper version.
Might not necessarily be cheaper by the time it gets our length. But,
you're welcome, by the way.
Well, speaking of cheaper, I went to the hobby shop to get the decal spray because our friend Tony wants some decals for his Daedalus build, but he's making it the SS Columbia. That would have been the shipwrecked one in the cage. That they landed on Talos, and they were all an illusion. Anyway, he's come up with an idea using the Jeffries sketches and using the 3D printed kit that I made for it, which is not what I'm doing here. This is completely different. But what I'm going to try to do is do a screen share. He sent me the decals he wants to put on, and I'll tell you what, this guy, you know what? He kind of puts himself down. I don't know why he does that.
He didn't ask for flames, did he?
He what?
He didn't ask for flames and pinstripes, did he?
Yes, he did. Not pinstripe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my email. I got to print it. Where did it go?
I saw the updated photos that he posted. They were amazing. The earth. I won't say the rusting, but the earthing, the weathering on them is tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Here's an example of his paint, and he didn't curse me as much as you did when it came to sanding.
No one curses you as much as I do.
He says it took a long time, but I got it done. And he used a lot of things. He used a lot.
Jack froze.
Oh
boy.
Somebody start tap dancing.
I had to give that up because it kept falling into the sink.
Shall I start the puppet show?
I used to do the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
Oh, the evil panda has appeared.
He's just come back.
Take the evil panda at the camera, and that'll make it happen. What happens when your leader freezes?
You can't do anything because he's got control of all of it.
Yeah, exactly. Here.
Oh,
and he dropped.
Oh, he dropped it.
He's gone as well.
We're still live.
The full Lou Tim and Randall show now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, now's our time. Revolution.
Yeah, I can't even share screens because Jack has to bring the shared screens up. So yeah.
I still don't get that. How you give it to Jack for him to.
It shows up when the screen you want to share shows up on that bottom line below the display screen where your little image is.
But how do you send that to Jack?
He sees that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he sees it once you share the screen. It appears.
He sees it. Everyone sees it
In his approval list.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't want to see him seeing all my screens. That's just that's it.
Just in case you're wondering, folks, we're still learning our way around this. So
Yeah.
we'll get our glorious leader back shortly. Well,
Hopefully.
shortly.
We're mighty green with this program. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We're trying to get with the program. We'll get there.
So
We're marching like lemmings towards the cliff.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll tell us to turn around any minute now.
shall we go to Randall?
Me?
What you've been working on? Yeah.
What have I been working on?
Yeah, put you on the spot, Randall. Come on.
Yeah, I've
Come
been
on,
working
come
on a couple of things. Little 1,000 scale Titanic model. And if we can get, show it there. It's that size.
Yes.
It's a full hull kit, but the hull, the bit below the waterline can be separated, so it becomes a waterline model.
That was the whole problem with the ship, wasn't it? The whole
Got myself one of these. It's from an outfit called Coastal Kits in the UK, and they do printed bases. So, sorry, very drop it, Jim. There,
It's sunk again.
yeah.
If it was a true waterline, wouldn't the waterline be way above the Titanic, though?
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do it before it sank.
Right, okay.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
He's doing it pre-iceberg, not post-iceberg.
Yeah.
Now, is that a generic wake, or is that something that is specific? You can order for ships or different scales.
It's a pretty generic wake. There's two that are like this that go straight. This is the longer of the two versions, and it's the only one that this particular model will fit. Obviously, it's too long, but there's nothing.
Kind of.
Well, you could cut it. You could cut it back.
Yeah, trim it.
It also
trim it
looks
down.
too energetic. Like that thing is really screaming across the warp 5. I mean,
Mind you, wasn't the Titanic actually fairly shifting when it hit the iceberg?
It was, yeah. They were trying to win the blue ribbon on its first outing
For the speed crossing,
yeah, which didn't help matters because they took the shortest route across, and that took it straight through the.
Even though they were warned not to.
Yeah.
well, then they deserve what they got.
Wayne says Titanic did not sink.
Yeah. Also,
It
broke apart and fell into the water.
it was just buoyantly challenged.
Yeah.
Well, I always argue with it that I don't think Captain Smith, but he should not have been the captain of that. The guy who should have been the captain was the guy that was the first officer. He was originally supposed to be the captain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Drilled out all the portholes as well, so it's going to be lit. Very basically, there'll be just a strip of LEDs along the bottom, shining up into the rest of the
right.
superstructure.
That's what lets all the water in.
Yeah, all those holes. I think I counted about almost 700 that I had to drill out. Yeah. I kept thinking to myself, this is going to be practice for the Zvezda Star Destroyer.
Yeah, that's true.
The only advantage this is that the windows were already marked pretty well. There were little dimples, so it was just a case of just resting the drill bit into it, and then away you go.
Uh-huh.
And I saved myself an awful lot of bother by using this.
Oh, that thing is a godsend. I
Yeah.
was given
Yeah.
one of those, and it's an amazing thing.
It's got just the right torque, right speed.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
doesn't
big
burn
issue.
it doesn't melt the plastic when it's going.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
big issue. I mean, you can do it with a Dremel if you buy an external speed controller, but for off the shelf, that's the only one that'll run at low enough speed so as not to burn through the plastic.
The only thing is if the plastic has to be relatively thin. If it's
Yeah.
a thick plastic, it doesn't have the torque to get through it.
Yeah.
So far, it's been getting through quite a few things. I haven't really tested it to destruction yet,
Uh-huh.
but don't really want to do that because I don't have to buy another one.
Well, I love the fact that it's a kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to build it. Yeah.
The only drawback is that the little collets that they supply in the kit are too big for
Right.
these sub-millimeter drill bits.
Well, at least it's a standard size collet, so you can get
Yep.
you can use your Dremel ones that you got, or put a unit. I would recommend putting a universal.
I pinched them out of a spare one of these that I had lying around. So
Yeah.
it does the job. There are also drill bits that come with thicker shafts that that will fit the Tamiya collet. Yep, that's the ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
The standard size collet.
Oh, that's that one, and also I've been working on. I like oddball aircraft, and I don't think there's much more oddball than this.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun looking aircraft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like a little GB.
Oh,
And you may notice
anyone who's
that
in chat,
It's yellow.
yeah, not too
is
much
the,
yellow. It's on the wings.
Yeah. It's chrome
is
and
the
yellow.
live broadcast still going? Is the live broadcast still going?
It's
on
still
YouTube?
live.
Oh, yeah, the numbers are still going up on the corner just above your head there, Phil.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Live 2735.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It shows it's still active.
Yeah.
Unless we're fitting into the void.
They're still listening to our gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
Gearhead Workshop. Titanic was never attempting to challenge for the Blue Ribbon. It was a luxury ship, not a speed ship. White Star was cut to
outdo Cunard on luxury.
On luxury, not speed. Oh, okay.
Does anybody else have that little blue icon in the lower right-hand corner over top of the chat live comments? Looks like a little lightning bolt inside of a thought balloon.
No, I've got a counter for live comments. There's a counter there.
I've got this little icon here that I can't get rid of, and it's covering up the Gearhead comment, or it covers up the last comment on the board here.
Oh, I don't see anything.
Nothing here. I just got live comments. There's no counter.
Yeah, I've just got live comments.
It's got two columns, one for live chat and one for live comment.
Yeah.
But for some oddball, there's Jack.
I don't.
Hey,
Welcome back.
Jack's back. Look busy.
we didn't say anything offensive at all, Jack.
Yeah, we were just all talking here, and all of a sudden,
He'll go back and check. Don't you?
My sound is weird. It's coming from a different place. Cam, Mike, maybe that's it.
Yeah, you can change where your sound comes from.
Camera.
My sound always comes from my mouth. I don't know.
Audio. Speaker default. Apparently, one of my screens has speakers, and I never knew that. What is this? Is this the definition? Let's try. That's the default.
George Volkowski's in the. Is it,
That's not it.
Yep. Hello, George.
Okay.
That's like one of those egg planes. Yep. Yeah, it certainly did.
George also mentions earlier it wouldn't be a real hangout without losing Jack. Well, this is true.
He just wanted to break it in.
Yeah.
It's apparently coming from a different one of my screens, and I didn't even know my one screen had speakers.
So it's probably using the HDMI for the sound. Then
It's possible because Phil gave me this mic, and it's all actually acts as a speaker too. So that's what I've been doing all my life since broadcasting. And apparently, it is not. Goes to the webcam. That's a microphone.
Yeah, your webcam.
It doesn't even give me the option to do this.
It's not there.
No.
Mic is through the webcam. Isn't that crazy?
My mic is through my webcam now.
So you can't change it from the drop down.
They're just it's defaulting to default, and that's what happens to be the webcam.
You don't have a list. You don't have a list in the drop down.
There's a list, but I have no idea what this is. AMD I can't hear you now. Yeah,
We're not saying anything.
I have to
Let's all just move our mouths and not say anything.
You were talking, Jack. We didn't want to talk over you.
disable. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No. It's taking me to the web camera. That sucks.
Actually, we're getting
we're getting an echo now.
Echo now, yeah.
Okay.
Echo.
Are you getting an echo now?
Yeah.
Still?
No, it's gone now.
No, not now. No, it's
Yeah.
back to
You
normal.
weren't echoing, Jack, but we were.
Camera. Logic.
So what was coming through your speakers is coming back through your microphone at us.
Yeah.
High def. I'm in high def now. No, I don't know.
Hi.
It's going through. I can hear you all, but it's going. Mic is on my camera, which is right above my screen, and then the speaker is behind the upper screen. With I think it might be that or the one I'm looking at. Somebody has speakers here, and I didn't know. I didn't know the screens had speakers. It never showed up. But anyway. Long and short of it, I'm still getting used to the software. I don't know. The computer just shut down, and it just wants to let it back up. And I guess it only uses this as well. I don't know why this is even on now because you should see the lights on.
It looks pretty.
Well, it actually works well with Google Hangouts. But I am so sorry. George, how you doing, George? He missed us all.
Now what'd you do? You highlight.
Yeah.
Jack missed you as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we all missed you.
Yeah, he was said hi to me, especially George. I got a fan. I got a fan. What were we talking? Oh, it was screen sharing stuff, and that's when all this happened. Let's see if it can continue messing up here. So, go to MeWe and share screen. Yeah, you see it. Okay, you see it now. And I was going down to Mr. Tony McCash. Oh, well, since I come across this, somebody in Switzerland bought it. It goes by, oh, shoot. Help me out, Lou. You know who this is?
Was it? I'm gonna sound stupid because I don't remember his name right now. Vic.
unlikely being in Switzerland, but
No, I'm thinking a short 3-letter name for some reason.
almost like Spanish. But he did up the data list too, as it would be
Properly made
and
without cutting it apart.
what's that?
Properly made without cutting it apart.
Yeah, probably cutting apart. Well, you just want to smash it, but that's you. But and this is the video of the. Let's see, make it big. Of the special effects, and he did the electronics all himself.
That is one smooth haul, I gotta tell you.
Mm-hmm.
He printed it though. He bought the files from me, and he printed himself.
Yeah.
And really, from you, Lou, I understood better what my printer does and doesn't do. So, I mean, sorry to put you through hell, but somebody had to be the guinea pig, and you were my guinea pig. You taught me a lot. You taught me a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. So back to where we were, his weathering.
That's good.
He also used your generic Aztec.
It was gorgeous before he did that.
What's that?
It was still gorgeous before he did that. Just the way his weathering looks, not too overdone.
At first, it was a little extreme, but he did that.
Yeah, he toned it down. Yeah.
So he just used half the hull and half the nacelles to produce this. I don't know what he's going to do for electronics, but he did show me that he's going to be using a flashing LED for the Bussards. And the effects that he's creating out of it is actually not too bad. He showed me on camera, as cameras would do, just totally blow everything out, but I got the gist of it. So yeah, he's doing a bang up job of that. I'd say. So just to give a little preview, what's on the printer right now is the other side of this.
Yay!
Look, I am really, really impressed with this particular print. It was filled with support material, which was very difficult to pull out. But once I got to way up in the back there, it popped out all in one piece. This is going to be for my bigger refit, quote unquote, data list. I think I'm doing the data list the way I think the data list should be done, not the way Matt Jeffries. Even though Matt Jeffries did create something, I had to sketch it in in order that I'm doing it in. I can probably look up the sketches too. And let's see.
Do you have enough parts to show a full completed nacelle yet?
No, I'm having trouble with it, big time. I'm having big time trouble. In fact, I'm going through the third iteration right now.
I would have figured that after all you went through with the neck and the other more complicated parts, that a cylinder would be simpler.
It's not quite a cylinder. It has the TOS cigar shape.
The tapered cylinder. Yeah.
Yeah, it has the taper. What was I looking for? Oh, the sketch. Let's see, amazing pictures. Star Trek. Datalist. Okay. Let's go screen share again. This is one of his sketches, and I'm doing something very not similar to that. That's wrong.
That's what Tony's doing.
This is more what Tony's doing, right?
Yeah.
That's more what Tony's doing. Nope. And I found this as a scout ship. I think it's actually quite adorable.
It's cute.
Mm-hmm. Shoot. It's in here somewhere. Here's all my reference material. Up, back. Inverted. This is inverted. So apparently it is this. No, that's not right either. Well, this is on upside, almost upside down, but my nacelles still perk up that the other way. That it's this, but not. I don't know how else to explain it. The ball is not attached at the bottom; it's attached at the top, so that the ball, the primary hull and the secondary hull, in line with each other. Because this way is what probably made it look very awkward for Roddenberry, because he says it was just awkward, and that's where after this is where the saucer came from.
Well, it's part of that long history. I don't know how much of it is old wives' tale at this point about every starship that's ever designed. They show it to them upside down for some stupid reason, and then it would look so much better if you just flipped it over. And I don't know. I may have bought that excuse on the first one, but it seems like every single one after that. Oh, they liked it better. We did the Reliant. They liked it better if it was upside down, and we liked the Voyager better if it was upside down, or like that's when they started doing things like Deep Space Nine, where if you turned it upside down, it's the same damn thing. I mean, just to avoid people's bright ideas of turning something upside down.
So here's the back section of the nacelle. This too, Jim will laugh. This alone, well, minus this alone took 42 hours to print. And you're saying, well, it looks like a pencil holder. This is the reason it took that long is because of Lou's lesson. The layer height that I'm doing is much shallower, at making sanding a lot easier. And I got this intercooler that just hooks in there like that. And then, of course, it's notched out for the locator. And I like that gap between the two. But as you see right in there, there's going to be an off politely because the slot is too deep.
Yeah.
So I got to re-engineer that. Actually, it'll be this piece that gets re-engineered. I'm going to keep this. In fact, I'm printing it right now. It's a short 9-hour jaunt to print that. And then by that point, I hope to be able to start redoing the nacelle. So this is as far as I really got in the past 2.5 weeks.
Again, Jack. There we go.
And there's Wayne.
Hey, we got
Wayne.
Hello. We've got a full Brady bunch.
Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne. How you doing?
Fine. Hang on, is that Wayne's it?
Right there.
Bloody.
And it's a silhouette.
Yeah.
La,
This is the story.
Yeah, all I see is a pair of glowing headphones.
I'm not going to do the lyrics on that. I'm not very good at that.
Oh. Hang on, let me just get the blind down.
Okay. So this has been going on since April, and that's why it's taking so long. Print times have just multiplied. I hope to have more, and the goal is to be done for Wonderfest. I don't, Lou. Matt will tell you I'm stressing. I am really stressing. I hope
February 1, Jack. It's February 1. You know what tomorrow is?
February 2.
halfway through.
Groundhog Day.
I'll be saying tomorrow. Haven't I been here before?
Yeah. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day. Rise and shine, campers.
Well, I guess Joel's latest video, he was showing off a high-speed printer.
Well, I've always said that that's going to be the only real frontier for them is making them faster and making them faster and making the filaments, the layers tighter.
Yeah.
Well, that was the resin printer, though, wasn't it?
No, the one where he printed the mask or the face.
The mask and the face. I'm not.
It's when he came a couple days ago.
Well, that was resin.
What
Was
brand
that
was
resin?
it?
Yeah, I think it was resin. Here, let's go over here and. Let's see. I'm signed in.
Do you have?
As you're seeing, my
120 more. Yeah.
Been watching a lot of stuff.
That one?
This is the one. Yeah.
We're not authorized to show their commercials on your stream.
Well, not that it really matters at this point. So
the guy's name's Beardsley, and he's got a beard.
So that's a resin printer? I hadn't watched that video yet. So.
I wonder what would happen if I did this. Ooh,
that would happen. Yeah, that's resin.
Yeah, I got the. That's definitely resin.
Yeah.
And he said, Joel was saying, how many days did this take, or something like that? And he said, it took 2.5 hours.
Wazoo.
That's the machine next to him there on the left.
Yeah.
And, Lou, since you give so much to your hobby and you're retired, you should buy one of those.
How much are they, Jack? Maybe I'll do
$1,000.
$6,000.
How many thousand, Jack?
60,000.
Oh, 60. I thought you said 6.
Cheap at half the price.
Yeah, so since we paid your mortgage off, might as well do another one.
60,000 at that price, I'll take 2.
But they went on to further say they went to get coffee or whatnot, and let me zoom up over here. And
that technology is going to trickle down into the home market.
Yeah, and he printed this in 8 minutes. These are individual pieces of whatnots that he did in 8 minutes. Let's get back to that. For that, that's astonishing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that a lot. I've noticed a trend towards those build plates there that aren't solid flat, that have a grid in them or have slots in them. That's a new development that I've seen, that they aren't completely flat, smooth plates.
Does this make it easier to get the items off the plate, or?
Yeah.
Better. Yeah. Well, yeah. Better.
It would also help channel the liquid or off of it. I don't know what all of the aesthetic reasons or the engineering reasons. Maybe if it's maybe it makes it easier for the elements to attach to it if it's got a little key to attach.
Well, you figure the plate goes into the liquid probably fully at the beginning.
Yeah.
And with the slots, it probably drains quicker. It doesn't get
it drains off
cooling at the top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It drains off better. And I'm wondering if also it would help, because one thing that bugs me is when I'm watching people working with these is that they got this beautiful print and then they take a rock hard metal scraper to it to chisel into it, and you can't help but scratch the surface of it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if this doesn't alleviate some of that.
I don't know.
But I like I said, it's a young technology, and there's always going to be refinements to, in the least likely of places is where you're going to see that one aha idea that really refines the process.
And and as usual, the newest innovations become the most expensive, then as they become more accepted,
right? And then
the price drops. Yeah,
and then those technologies trickle down.
Yeah.
What was the lag time between filament printing only for industry and home use? I mean,
I'd say almost 10 years.
Yeah, for the technology to get cheap enough to make it practical for the home.
Yeah.
And you got to figure that's on that curve too, where progress happens faster and cheaper. There's a name for that term. It used to use it in computer technology about every so often technology gets faster and cheaper on a cycle. And I'm trying to remember there was a term for that, but I can't help but think that 3D printing is going to be something like that, where it's going to get faster and cheaper on a cycle. 60,000. Oh, come on, that's pocket change.
I just flipped away from it as soon as I came up, and we were laughing. They were laughing about that, but of course. And then Joel says, "When do you think that'll come down?"
Yeah,
that's a little more than what I paid for my house.
I was gonna say, if you put a mailbox in front of it, if the case is big enough to live in, you could,
the pup tent next to it.
The pup tent next to it, you could run power to it. You'd need to have it in, a heated enclosure. So, how much of your house do you really use?
Or you would get a Jones zip code.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
But without improvements like that, like you say, it's stress tested at the professional level, the industry level, and then it filters down.
This is part 2 on our private hangouts. We were watching them doing the first part. This gentleman is an RC enthusiast in Germany, and
plane.
about 4 weeks ago, I have the sound turned off. I'm sorry. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We watched him 3D print a mold, and he used
Carbon fiber. Yeah.
To make the shell of the airplane. I have not seen this video yet, but to give you an example, let's just zoom up to here as to what he's doing here. He's doing his OC airplane. Of course, he cut himself because the stuff is really sharp, I bet.
Yeah.
So watching him, this guy's a master. And boy, the amount of patience this guy has standing. Oh my God. It just totally freaks me out how patient this guy is. But his channel, if you're interested, is Ramy RC. He's definitely worth a watch if you're not necessarily into RC. That's not what it's about. If you're into finding new techniques and doing big models that are sturdy and worthwhile building and having a lot of fun with the big stuff, he will show you how this is done and tell you the pitfalls and everything. He's really good. And then there's that other guy who 3D printed a tank, and I can't remember his channel, that privately were making fun of him because he laid in his tank, and let's see.
Well, he's got motors in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got motors in it now. Gosh, what does he see? There's so many channels.
Can you just do a Google search for 3D printed tank?
3D printed orange, because it's orange tank. It's almost like Prusa gave him a whole bunch. Oh, here it is. Oh, come on, Disney. And done. Yeah, I got this way. I just had to stop watching it because he was just making me feel so bad. But he is making it this way. Yeah, so we talked a lot about this stuff and about the technology and what we would do. I took the plunge into it. Bob, I hope you get your resin because if you do, I am going to make these files available. I haven't 100% decided yet on how to do that. There's a number of ways I'm pondering, and you know me, and when I ponder something that's pretty serious, so I will share what I do now, you know, and I gotta.
Jack's
gone again.
I'm still here.
Here we go.
Sorry, wrong button. And
Somebody
Sash came out of the
missing?
closet.
Yeah.
And the stash is up there, and even down below, some down below there. I'm buying these models, and I have no idea why. So as I was saying, I went to the hobby shop to buy the spray before I got bleeped out there. And I was talking to Tony when he went to Korea, and I told him, hey, get me XYZ, got me something. And he says, what do you want? And I said to him, what do you want in return? He took my Reliant, and I just bought it. I already bought it. There it is. It's right up there. Because I missed it. Missed having it just on my shelf collecting dust.
You just want the empty box? I could send you an empty box.
I think it would be cheaper. It'd be cheaper. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm buying kits. I am, and I think though in time I'll probably end up selling them because there's a lot of repeats here. But I'll probably build them. I probably will. That's my retirement project to build on from my stash. But anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me? So,
Did Phil drop out?
Yeah, he said his PC just shut down. He left a message on the live comments.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how he did it if his PC just shut down. So
Norman says he hasn't been to one off these years and years. I'm not sure. Around, I don't know. Yeah, this printer is about $300, I believe, but you can probably get bigger for like $1,200 maybe. The resin kits are coming down. I'm not resin kits. The resin printers are coming down in price. So Bob, I would hang in there maybe another year or two.
and they are making them the resins such that you don't need to wash them in alcohol either. You can use cheaper alternatives.
Less toxic.
Yeah, the mean green cleaners and things like that will do.
Yeah. So I would, when it comes to resin printers, I would really seriously wait. Certainly, I waited about 2 or 3 years for the Prusa that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I did, because I was really set on another brand that Liam got for Christmas or his birthday or something like that. And he's telling about it. He got it before I got my Prusa, and he's like telling me all the things you have to do to make it work.
Yeah, well, it's bleeding edge.
You just told me not to do it.
Yeah, it's bleeding edge. That's why they call it that.
Yeah, right. And you're kind of doing that, aren't you? Rearranging things for that.
I am in the original early throes of things. I don't know exactly what, but I do know that to make any of it work, I needed to upgrade my infrastructure. So that is what I'm doing now.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't. It will be spring or summer because I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be resin because I just want to expand the availability pool. I think Jack's got the filament end of it covered.
No. Yeah. Norman is saying don't put the water washable resin down the drain. Still hazardous waste.
Yeah. Okay, but that's if you're on public water. I'm on a cesspool. It doesn't really matter to me.
Well, if you go to North Carolina and look for the dead spot, that's where Lou's house is, right in the middle.
Yeah.
of it.
I'm on a septic tank, so I can dump whatever in there I want.
Oh dear. Nothing like putting it into the ground. Never mind. I asked Carwin had joined us about the he wiped the froth from his mouth because of that.
Carwin's teasing things that
He says, I was told things off air you just don't know about. I can't tell you. God, I need a plane ticket so I can interrogate him.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, it's nothing worse than a Model T.
So we're going to bring, I promised it will be an hour, and it has been an hour, even though part of that hour I was not around. And so I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, both in the live chat. Thank you, George. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Norman. Thank you, Bob. And good morning to everybody. And everybody, Gearhead, the workshop. Wayne, also, Carla, Lou, Jim, Randall, and who's this guy, Jack? Anyway, thank you all for stopping by and sharing this first return to the work or hobby bench. We're going to call this the hobby bench, not the hangout. It's going to be the hobby bench. So maybe we'll digest what we just did, and maybe I got to talk less and maybe got to get something rolling so y'all can do your things. So anyway, I enjoyed coming back. Thank you for the well wishes and everything that I've seen on the chat. And we'll be back a month later, which is March 7th. Oh, Friday the 13th is going to be on in March. So March 7th will be the next one. So we'll
Hey, Phil's back just in time to say goodbye.
Hey,
yeah.
bye.
If you want to hang out socially with us, once we close this up, I'm going to go over to MeWe, and we're going to open up a Google Hangout, and I will post the link to the social hangout, or the after show, I guess you would call it, and we'll hang out a little bit and talk and yak more. All right, thank you all. See you next month. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.